Hi everyone, it's Crystal, and today's video is going to be about mesh wreaths, and I'm going to break this down into two videos. The first one, I'm going to sit here and talk a little bit about these wreaths and different supplies tonight that you could use for them. And then the second one is going to be a process video where I just put the wreath together, fast forward it, and do a voiceover on it. So what you're looking at here, and if this is shaky, I apologize because I'm not on my tripod. And also about the background noise, I apologize for that because I have to do these wreaths in my dining room, and you know, people in the house is very loud and they'll trample through here. So just to leave you guys know what's going on. Okay, so this wreath here, what you're looking at, is my Christmas wreath I had did. Now, on this wreath here, it is on a 16-inch working wreath form, and the size of it after it gets done is almost like 27 inches. So these wreaths, you start out with a much smaller wreath form or a wreath base, and your wreaths will be huge by the time you get done with it, as you can see there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and put this back down on my tripod and get on with the rest of the video. Okay, now that we're back and camera's up on a tripod this time, so let's go ahead and talk about your supplies tonight that you're going to need. So this wreath here is just your regular wire wreath base. They also sell the well, I can't remember what they're called. I just said what they were. Working wreaths. And the working wreaths, basically the only difference really between the working wreaths and these regular wire wreath bases is it is raised a little bit more here, and it already has your pipe cleaners already attached to the wreath itself. So just by saving a couple extra dollars by buying just a regular metal wreath, and a couple, you know, it just takes a couple extra minutes to put on your pipe cleaners, but you save a couple dollars. But Joann's and Michael's doesn't sell the working wreaths. The only place I know craft store wise that sells them to actually a brick and mortar store is Hobby Lobby, and you can actually use a coupon on there, so it just depends. The Christmas one I just showed you guys was done with a working wreath, and it was actually you know, a little bit easier because, like I said, the pipe cleaners were already attached to it. The size I like to use is an 18-inch wreath base, and that's what this wreath base is. It is 18 inches, and you're not going to be able to see that on camera. But just how you measure your wreath bases is you just put a ruler underneath of it, and I go from side to side. Like I said, you're going to hear dogs. This is not a quiet household. Okay, so anyways, you just put your wreath base on here, and as you can see, from your start point to your end point is 18 inches. So by the time you get done with this, it is going to be much bigger. It's probably going to be 27, 29 inches in complete when it's done, because the mesh really does poof out the wreath. Okay, so you have your wreath that you need, and like I said, this one's an 18 inches, and I like that size. I know I just said that, but I do really like that size. And then what you're going to need is, if you just buy the regular wreath base, you're going to need pipe cleaners. I usually pick up 2 packs of 12, and you want to get them. That's my sister you're here laughing, and I ain't editing this video, so it is what it is, guys. She's laughing because my mother's over there opening cupcakes up, making noise. She's like a rat. You tell her to be quiet, you'll hear her over there. Okay.
I'll edit that
I completely lost that train of thought there. Okay. So, your pipe cleaners. You want to get them to what's going to match your wreath. Like, I'm doing a pink mesh on here, so I picked up white pipe cleaners. But there's also going to be What? Did you see her face? She did it. Was like, okay, guys. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Okay. So on this wreath here, there's going to be pink and white. That's why I picked up white pipe cleaners. You know, you wouldn't want to put black pipe cleaners on when you're using the pink and white, because the pipe cleaners then will be really noticeable. So you want to stick with, you want your pipe cleaners to match your color that you're doing on your wreath, okay? Alright, so, got that down. Next thing you're going to need, the next very important thing in this is you're going to need mesh. Now, there's all different kind of mesh out there. I personally have just been picking it up from the craft store, but if you go online, if you Google mesh, Deco-mesh wreaths, they'll show you some stores where you can purchase this stuff at, and they have, it's called a Luxe mesh wreath, I think that's what it's called. And what it is the weave on it is going to be a much tighter weave. I haven't bought any of that stuff yet, but I would really, I think for my next one I might actually pick that up. I'm not for sure yet. So there is a difference in the mesh. The cheaper the mesh, the looser the weave. The more expensive the mesh, the tighter the weave. And basically what that weave is the looser the weave, you're going to be able to see through it more, and the tighter the weave, you're not going to be able to see as much through it. So I hope that made sense. So you want to pick out your mesh. I usually pick out a big roll, and then they have like a half size roll. I usually pick out a color like that. This time I didn't, but I try to pick out like 2 colors. So for this one here, for the big roll, I picked up this bubblegum pink color. And then, I don't know where I got all right there. And then the other mesh I picked up for this wreath is a ribbon mesh. And as you can see here, and it's like a white with some holographic stuff in there. Okay. So that's pretty much all the mesh I'm going to use on this wreath. And then I also picked up some ribbon. On my Christmas one, I didn't use any ribbon. I just used the mesh. But figured for this one I'd use some ribbon. And then you're going to need your decorations for it. There's also, they have a tubing, and that's actually downstairs in my basement, but that tubing, I picked it up to use on my Halloween one, and my sister just completely played around with that and like got it knots and everything. But it's just like tubes, you know, it's like about that thick, and it's just like a tube. It's really cute. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Just I pick up my stuff from Packatans, and they have a nice selection of mesh stuff. I know Hobby Lobby also does have a nice selection of mesh. Joann's and Michael's, they got a little selection, but nothing like Hobby Lobby. So if you have a Hobby Lobby or a Packatans, I recommend going there to pick up your supplies to get started if you've never made one of these. And that's the way. It's cheaper. You can use coupons, and then if you decide that you like to make these, then you can order from the online stores, but it costs more money. Okay, so on to the decorations. So for this particular wreath, I picked up a Happy Valentine's Day sign, and I'm planning on sticking this dead smack in the middle of the wreath. I also picked up some picks, picks for wreaths. You can pick up some of those. And the only other thing I got for decoration on this wreath is these wooden hearts that I had picked up. And these were just plain wood when I picked them up. And I painted them myself and wrote on the little sayings myself. So that is all I plan on putting on this wreath. You can really go to town with these wreaths and make them as thick and full as you want. Or as little as you want. It all depends what your taste is. It just depends on what holiday I'm doing. For my Christmas one, wasn't too much put on there. I wanted it nice, clean, and simple. And it looked, in my opinion, it looked very elegant, I thought. But so, yeah, that made a whole lot of sense. But so, oh my god. So that is everything. Just like your basic info into these mesh wreaths. If you have any questions, just either leave me a comment below, send me a private message. So yeah, send me a private message on YouTube, or you can hit me up on my Facebook channel and send me a message that way, or get on my blog and email me that way, or you can even Instagram me if you really want to. So I think I pretty much covered everything, and that's going to be it for the first part. The second part, like I said, is going to be a video of me putting this all together, and it's going to be a process video, so it's going to be fast forwarded, and I'll probably do some voice in there. But yeah, so that's it, guys. So if you want to see how this wreath turns out, just stay tuned for the next video. Alright, until then, I will talk to you later. Bye. One other thing, guys, I just remembered before I move on to this. You're also going to need, I use a hot glue gun, but you're going to need something to attach, like, I don't know, just different items to your wreath. So I'm going to need a hot glue gun to attach these parts to the wreath. But everything else, excuse me, like all the mesh and the ribbon and all that will get connected through the pipe cleaners. But I just wanted to leave you guys know that you are going to need some kind of adhesive to stick your loose items onto your wreath. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to part 2.